What's up? You guys miss blueberries? How about you? You miss blueberries? Bring some more blueberries? Yeah? You gonna climb the wall? Okay. Now, one of the advantages of working at a blueberry farm is that when we go to do our U-picking, we get to pick a road that hasn't been touched, which is currently where I'm at. And I'm gonna go find, I was down here earlier checking something out. I'm gonna go find, there was some really big blue crop variety down this way. Ah, I think I found it. Yeah. Give you a little size comparison there. Almost grape size over here. Very nice. Now, another advantage to working at the blueberry farm is to get to drive around one of these. Great fun. Well, beautiful morning here at the farm. This is August the 4th, and doing morning chores before we go out to the blueberry farm, which actually include blueberry patrol here at our farm. Every day the Radke's send us home with the blueberry sorts, and that we used to make blueberry juice out of, but we have so much blueberry juice in the basement we're not making juice this year. Didn't last year, didn't this year. They're just going to the animals. Speaking of which, there's one. Let's go see if they want some blueberries. I've been spotted. Anybody want blueberries? Moo! Oh, and I hear T-Bone somewhere way over there. T-Bone! Don't leave me out, says T-Bone. The lambs are in the barn. They're saying, yep, come on, feed us. There's T-Bone. There he comes. They know that whistle means something good. Don't leave me out. I guess for T-Bone that's sort of a fast walk. Up here he's almost trotting. Oh, well, T-Bone, I haven't seen you run in a long time. Let's get in there or Pumbaa will eat it all. Come on, T-Bone. Let's go see who's hungry in here. As if we didn't already know. Well, man, who's hungry in here? Man. Okay. And we got 2 buckets of berry sorts. Nummy. Yummy, the blueberry. It's like pie and torte and muffins all rolled into one, huh? You're not quite as excited about blueberries, are you? What else do you got? That's it. Lately we've been having a little Bambi problem on the back side of Camp A down here, where they come in right behind the vineyard, get into the garden, and we don't want that Bambi problem when those grapes start to mature and other things. So far they've been coming in picking up windfall off the ground in the orchard, but thanks to Ed Radke, we now have a little bit of a Bambi solution. When they come in this way, motion detector, and motion detector off. I'm behind it right now, so I wish we had a 360, but that'll do for now. Hopefully that'll steer them away, as we do have fruit starting to ripen. And they've been in gnawing on the corn. You can see this corn leaves are not doing too well. They're getting gnawed on. And in other developments, I'm redoing the ramp up to the deck, as the plywood on there did not work out well. So I got all that ripped off last night, and now we're just playing out of commission for a little while. And we're going to put down composite deck boards instead, which I should have done to begin with. But anyway, we're doing it now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Right. Well, this is August the 25th, and we should probably check in for a little bit of a new farm report. I'm out here today. I just finished picking up some apples, and now I'm working on these pears. Picking a few pears, and we're bringing them in to process. Making applesauce and pear sauce. As long as the canning lids will hold out. Of all the other shortages this year, we've gone from toilet paper to canning supplies. Clean off the shelves. And let's go check and see how grape progress is doing. These are Concord grapes. They got a ways to go. And these are other varieties, I can't remember. They've all got a ways to go. There's some that are almost ready. I just tried one. It's a little tart, but they're starting to turn here. Let's see, you can see my weeds are doing very nicely. And the corn, there looks like an ear almost ready here. I'm not going to get a lot. It's just, I don't know what happened to the corn this year. I just know what to tell you. I'll get a few ears, but not very many. Looks like a couple in here. There's one. And there's still some coming, but boy, look at the weeds growing in here. Just almost really as tall as the corn. We got a few tomatoes coming in. See a little bit of orange there. These are Romas. That one will be ready in a few days. Got a lot of green Romas. And those are fine to come on in September. Those will all go for canning, and we'll make salsa out of that. Now we do have some of these coming on right next door, so we better try that. Yummy. There's some more there. Oops, lost one. You know they're ready when they fall off. Very yummy. And then heading on up through the weed field, we got this cherry tomato, which truly is almost as tall as the corn. Yeah. Homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Then we got some poblanos peppers, lots of those coming. Got 12 plants here, and they all have a good 6 or 10 on them. I have been able to keep up with the weeds pretty well in here. Get rid of that. And then the green beans are starting to come on. So I see one right here. And I see more. So I need to get out and harvest these. I'm in the middle of harvesting right now. I just took in a 5-gallon bucket of apples, and I took in 5 or 6 squash, zucchinis. Well, there's something I have left to the end to update us on. Something kind of sad yesterday. It's life at the farm. Life happens. But we lost Han, the sheep, the bigger brother of the 3. We lost him yesterday, really right up the hill behind me, in the corner of the pasture, up above the duck pond there. Well, at first we didn't know what, but yesterday, as we were dealing with that, there was a truck going by up on the logging road up here, and he spotted me working up there, and he stopped, and the first thing out of his mouth, he got out of the truck, and he said, "Are you having cat problems?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, we lost a lamb last night." And he said, "Cougar's been spotted just up the hill from us within the hour yesterday morning." So after what we guessed to be the fact, yesterday morning, Terry and I, well, we know they were there Sunday night, which is, this is Tuesday, and I had gone out to look in on them, feed them, close up the barn for the night. We don't close them in the barn. Well, we are now. For the time being, they are locked in the barn at night. All of them, including the big guys back here. So anyway, we were eating breakfast in the dining room, and Terry looked up and saw 2 of the lambs out grazing, and they're a threesome, and they're not apart. And you know, they're triplets. They haven't been apart since birth, till now, sadly. So we have 2 lambs that are a little bit on the sullen, subdued side. We don't know how much they saw of what went on, but it looked kind of like probably the cat cornered one of them, drove it into the corner up there, and where it couldn't get away, and did its dirty work. So yesterday was kind of an unpleasant deed for me. Terry and I were out looking, and Terry was the one that discovered it, so it wasn't a pleasant sight for her. But the remains were in such a state that I called our neighbor, because he's a hunter, knows how to deal with these things, and he came over and took a look, and he said it's still usable meat. So he helped me with I've cleaned fish before, but I've not been a hunter and don't know how to do that stuff. So he's you know, helped me with dressing it out. And then we got a couple pieces of advice yesterday to, instead of hanging it in the basement, is to go ahead and, which seemed okay too, but a couple of people seemed pretty adamant that are also hunters and pushed on us to know you want to refrigerate it right away. So we went ahead and cut it up, refrigerated it, and we'll just, I don't know, we're new to this, so kind of feel like a rope in a tug of war, but it sounded like the safest bet maybe to go ahead and get it in the fridge, and so we did. And you know, obviously not as much on a 4.5-month-old lamb as usually they get processed about 10 or 11 months. So, but one thing it convinced me is I'm glad we pay a mobile butcher to come out here and do this for us. I wouldn't want to do it myself, and it was, you know, kind of a hard, tough way to have to learn that on hand-fed lamb that we. So anyway, sad news. And today we're on to cheerier stuff and back to some routine maintenance. We just finished our blueberry work a couple of days ago, and so we're re-retired now at this point. Thoroughly enjoyed our work with the Radkeys. They are wonderful people, and if you're in the area, in the Willamette Valley, there's really only one place locally around Corvallis or Albany that you should be picking blueberries, and that'd be the Radkeys. So wonderful, wonderful people. So we thoroughly enjoyed that. Didn't really seem like work, seemed like we're going off to play every day. Now there's an accumulation of stuff here that needs to be done. Since we've been off playing, we need to get after. So we're busy at the farm. Well, I'm up here in the top corner of the pasture, up above the dry duck pond. You can barely see the house through the trees there. And I've been up here working away today on the corner. This corner fence has issues. Well, over there it does. And there's been such a thicket in here, I haven't worried about the animals getting out. They wouldn't want to challenge the thicket of growth. And then there's this old shed back here, which is obviously falling down. That's actually the roof, not the wall. So it's that wood planking there is the siding. I suppose that might make some nice barn wood for somebody, but it's on my do list to take it apart, dump it, get rid of it. I think that was something that Bob Garner had, that he gave to Dad, and they hauled it up here on skids, dragging it with a truck or something, and Dad was gonna raise quail or something back here. And just on the other side of it is that seasonal creek that flows through on the other side of the fence. And Dad had run a pipe over underground and buried a pipe that goes over and fills the duck pond by those two fir trees there. Anyway, I won't show the exact spot, but this is where poor old Han got driven into the corner where we found him. And it just, I was surprised he got in behind the thicket, and it got me to thinking, I don't want the animals in here at all. So even though it's on my do list to clean this up and reinforce, kind of redo this fence corner back here, make it a little more critter proof, I decided what would be easier in the short run is to throw this little fence up around it. Since it's not really a usable corner anyway, we'd just fence that stuff off and run a little triangle from one side to the other. So I've been up here cleaning this up. You can see I cut this thicket back, and this is the result of that. So I'll have to deal with that a little later on. And in preparation, I was just cleaning up all through here, cleaning up sticks and mowing and getting ready to put that fence in. But interesting thing, somewhat over there somewhere, I found something down in the dirt and dug it up. And this is what it is. Now, isn't that interesting? North Dakota, Peace Garden State. So not only was there a shed up here, but for a number of years, right in this spot here, was Daryl's old Corvair that he had when he got out of the military. And this apparently must have fallen off and been laying there ever since. Daryl, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing it's due for tags. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Pardon the crude, I found an available liquid out here and dusted that off. Yeah, I think it's due for tags, Daryl. So maybe I should send this to you in case law enforcement is looking for HA 279 to give him some comeuppance. There's Pumbaa. Yeah, we got a vocal group that kind of misses their daily dose of blueberries that would come off the sorter belt. We didn't do any blueberry juice this year. They got them all that came home, and I think, is it safe to say they've been spoiled? It's about this time of the afternoon they'd get their little treats. So I fed them some grass this afternoon. They kind of turned up their nose, some grass pellets, and they turned up their nose and say, "Bleh, where's our blueberries?"